and welcome to the How Could You Forget
Wait,
podcast.
I wasn't ready.
Hello, and welcome to the How Could You Forget podcast, the podcast where your hosts Gurdon, Eric, and Lexi, as well as occasional guests, come together and learn about a topic that maybe you'd forgotten about, never heard about, or is simply too good to forget.
I thought you'd almost forgotten at the end with the...
How, Lexi,
what the
how
ending was.
could I?
Too good to what? I don't know.
Too good to help.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Welcome to the How Could You Forget podcast episode.
That's right. We're coming up on 1 year of doing the podcast, so it's going to be a more laid-back episode, a little less information heavy for you, a little more chill.
Kicking it old school.
Sure. Gonna talk about a bunch of different stuff. So we hope that you stick around because it sounds like it will not be as fun of an episode, but I promise we will have a lot of fun. So, and if we don't have fun, then you can comment at the end of the episode, not fun, sad, in the comment section. So we know.
I'm already writing out my comment right now as we speak.
Oh my God. Wow. Thank you for the faith in me.
Right there, true. But it's good for the algorithm, though.
It is.
I know, shh, don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Don't tell who? The audience?
Even if they're being haters, it helps us because they can comment a bunch.
Oh,
Exactly.
Speaking of, we got our first dislike, y'all. We made it. We finally made it.
I was going to mention that.
Let's go.
I was going to mention that. Don't know.
Again, it's much more. Is it
mention that
structured
now.
or is it free flowing?
Yes, but I was going to give some like statistics, and that was part of it.
Statistics, girl. Go ahead.
Not really statistics, but just like fun facts for anybody who may or may not care. So we started this podcast about why'd you just laugh?
For those
there?
who may or may not care, like somebody's like, yeah, don't care, and just turned it off at that exact moment. I'm laughing
No, they
about
better
that.
leave it on because they don't know if they don't care until they hear it.
They're going to miss the lore.
Yeah. At the
That's
very
kinda
end, we're
true.
going to explain the entire purpose of the podcast and how this has all been a honeypot by the CIA or something.
Exactly. You don't want to
No.
miss it.
You don't.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You could sound a little bit more excited about that, Gurdon.
About what?
You don't want to miss it.
You don't. You really. Hey,
Oh my gosh.
let me. I'm gonna take another sip. I'm not under the influence. I'm like
Yeah,
three
for those
quarters
who
awake.
want the first behind the scenes look, Gurdon is an EB little boy right now. So
Yeah.
we're kind of coaxing him awake at the moment.
A peek behind the curtain here. A peek behind that old curtain very quickly before Lexi gets into actual peeks behind curtains. We accidentally let in about 10 moths into our house last night. And that's very, very exciting, I know. But after we let in the 10 moths, Battle Bus, the beloved cat and mascot of this podcast, then proceeded to try to chase the moths over the next 3 to 4 hours, including possibly jumping from the top of our ceiling, basically, down to the floor trying to get a moth and crashing on the way
She
down.
was protecting you.
And waking
she was
my ass
fighting
up
for you.
at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, because we had
Multiple
some friends
times.
over already, so it was already
Listen,
like
Warriors
12:30.
got prices to pay, okay?
So I had to deal with a cat, and then at 4 o'clock in the morning, she just started biting my feet, and so I just did not sleep well. She was pissed that
Such is the life.
she did not like the moths, and she did not like the fact that we let in the moths. So thank you, Battle Bus. You're an asshole.
No, she is a protector.
She's the protector. She's the moth hunter. That's what her nickname is.
Yes. She is the bus that battles.
So yeah, for those of you who don't know, who have maybe only listened to a couple episodes, we do have a cat named Battle Bus. That's who Gurdon was talking about. And Gurdon, I have a question for you, if you're even awake enough to answer it. I know that you are the one that came up with the idea of how could you forget and wanting to do it as a podcast. When did you come up with this idea, or how did this come to you?
Thank you, interviewer Lexi. I could
welcome.
really tell that the tone there shifted when you switched into interviewer mode. I really appreciate that, actually.
I care about journalistic integrity. What can I say?
So true, bestie.
Journalistic internal.
What?
So I turtle.
People are already going to be turning this off. This is
People
bad.
are like,
This is
what the
bad.
fuck is wrong with Gurdon? And I'm included in that.
Yeah.
I remember
Okay, can I
had
pitch
the
you that
idea.
question again, or do you?
No, this is all staying in. This is the zero cut podcast.
Oh, there better be cuts.
There will
better
probably be some cuts, but there's some stuff I'm going to leave in because it's funny. All right, sorry, go on.
Okay.
So I remember I came up with the idea, like I've been a longtime fan of podcasts since roughly about like 2011. Like back in the old day, for those that might not remember, when iTunes was around, you'd of course have to pay per song. And so you'd have to pay like 99 cents, and then eventually it jumped up to like $1.29 per song.
Yeah.
And so like at the time I was broke, I would get like $125 or $120 iTunes card per like Christmas or birthday. And so even though I had an iPod, I couldn't really listen to music because I would listen to those songs like crazy, and then I get worn out because I listened to the 10 to 15 songs that I downloaded and then be like, I'm bored. And so I started getting much more into podcasts. And there was an old podcast that ran, I think, from 2011 till 2013 or 2014 called the Internet Box Podcast. And it's not a very well-known podcast these days because it ended, but it surprisingly beat there was the podcast awards back in the day, and it ended up beating Serial, which Serial was like a huge podcast for best general podcast, and people were like, holy crap. But like they were just 6 assholes that were like friends that played games and would like occasionally talk about like gay Dumbledore or like random stuff like that, and they just had a bunch of fun with it. And
Man,
so
Dumbledore was gay back then? Wow.
I know, but there was just a bunch of stuff like that. Like they had a running joke about like the bees and Nicolas Cage and stuff like that. But like they beat Serial, and then like eventually they all started growing up and their stories just kind of like all drifted apart. But like even back then I was always like, man, I'd really like to have like a podcast with like my close friends, and like to be able to have a time that again is set not in stone but like relatively like is set, scheduled, and like, hey, we're all gonna hang out and we're all gonna talk. And like originally I wanted it to be much more of a free-flowing podcast, kind of like exactly in this moment here of like just talking back and forth and like, oh hey Lexi, oh hey Eric, y'all remember this thing, and just like having more jokes. But then as I grew up in about 2018 2019, I had the idea for the How Could You Forget portion of it, because I was like, calling a podcast How Could You Forget is like a really good title, and I was like, I'm gonna hold on to that one. And then over the course of the next couple years, I really tried to like, well, How Could You Forget isn't a really good for just a conversational podcast or anything like that, but much more about like, hey, here's a cool story, or here's a cool
like
element,
information.
or much more or
Edutainment.
Edutainment, yes.
There you go.
Still half asleep, but I'm here. Edutainment style things of, yes, we're going to be telling you again, like we talked about Ponzi, like we've talked about random stuff like that, but like we've tried to make it fun and make it enjoyable for people to listen to. And that's very much what I was building on. And like eventually again, I met my beautiful fiance Lexi and my beautiful furry friend Eric here, and then we got together. That is. Aww. And then we started doing this, and then again having on so far Baybo, and we have a couple other people lined up, hopefully for guest spots soon.
Yeah, scheduling is hard. I did want to interject and say, like, we do have a few other people that we're talking with and trying to schedule to get them on, but as everybody probably knows, life do be doing stuff right now. So we do have that in the works. When we say sometimes guest, we don't just mean that one time we had Beast King Barbaros on.
Singular guest.
Even though shout out to him,
Sometimes
he is our homie.
guest, not plural.
Yeah,
sometimes
guest. Sometimes Baybo. But no, shout out to him. He's awesome. But yeah, we do have a couple of people we are in talks with. Nobody big. Okay, I don't want to like.
We're having on Joe Biden.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah, like I don't want people to think that we've got like these like, oh my god, it's gonna be this, but they are very interesting, and the topics that they want to do. I'm like, man, yeah, we really should do that. So
it's also the issue of the exact format that we've set up. Like if we had a guest on that was just like a part of the peanut gallery, that would be very fun as well. But also, usually the person that is the host is the one bringing and talking the most. And if we have a guest on, we'd love to have the actual guest on to talk about something that they know or like really enjoy. And so these episodes are also not very much like, oh, I'll do 5 minutes of research and come up with an entire hour-long podcast to talk about stuff. And so that's what becomes the issue of having guests on is, oh no, they basically have to do homework, and do sometimes
it's giving
days
them
and
things
days.
to do.
Gotta read like a whole outline and everything,
Yeah.
showing up with like an hour worth of stuff.
And then even if you hit like that 45-minute mark and you're like, I don't think I have enough for an hour, learning to like stretch that last 15 minutes, like,
Or create a game, which is also another,
True.
another task we're giving people. So, again, we like to do it, but also there are times where, the world is just a lot. And so we're like, man, trying to message somebody, be like, hey, you got all that stuff ready for us? It's not very fair. So
no, it is very fun though. And again, like the thing, and even having Lexi on to switch in now, and then of course myself back and forth, like it is a good thing. And again, Eric, if you don't know, if you couldn't tell by me telling Eric sometimes, hey, cut that out, or picking up on lines like that, or if he's just cut all those out, he's been even better. But Eric is the editor and is the one that makes this turd sound much better than it probably should, of the audio, the intros that are like, y'all don't want to hear the raw intros that are like Lexi being like, do that better, say that again, come on, use a better voice.
If you listen to or watch the last episode about the high school that doesn't exist, always be plugging. If you watched or listened till the end and you heard our bloopers or outtakes of me telling Gurdon, hey, do that again. No, you sound like a pirate. That happens a lot. And, Camp does very heavy lifting in the edit. There are times, I think it was a few episodes ago, that I was like, ooh, there were some, I think it was me. I was like, ooh, there were some times I was really long-winded. I don't know where that's going to go. And then, after we hear the edit, I'm like, wow, okay, yeah, that, like Gurdon said, that
tight.
turd was polished. So that's the magic of, trying to make something.
Absolutely. And massive, massive props to him, as well as, we always say it, and it's always in the description, but even the intro music and the outro music that Camp has made is also like,
yes,
he's just like, oh, by the way, how does this sound? And just popped out with that one day. And we were like, why are you so good at music? Like,
I thought it was great.
That's not fair.
Oh, well, thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm very glad I can help contribute to this positively, since I don't think I've done a topic yet at all.
But see, it makes a lot of sense, though, because again, if you're doing the heavy lifting of actually putting the edit together, then it makes total sense that we're not going to be like, hey, yeah, by the way, also do an outline and create a game. That's a lot for, week and a half's worth of time, even if you have that entire time. So, I just wanted to let the viewers and listeners know kind of some of the behind the scenes stuff, because you guys might have picked up on, it's like, oh, well, Camp didn't get to do a topic. It's like, trust me, we give Camp enough to do. If there's ever anything he wants to do or talk about, he's totally free to do that. But we also very much appreciate his talents doing the edit. So that is why you have not heard a topic from him yet.
Yeah,
so.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the whole, I love doing more like kind of the behind the scenes stuff. And also the fact that I don't know, I haven't really thought of like a good topic. Well, I have thought of a couple topics maybe that I might like to bring up in the future, but right now I am happy helping put this stuff together behind the scenes and laughing when Gurdon or Lexi says funnies. That is my position.
Or cutting out when I tell Gurdon to do it again for the 15th time.
I have to do a voice, then do a better one. My favorite blooper of all time. It's so funny.
Or when our audio gets off halfway through the episode and you're like, no.
Oh, man. Yeah, I've had my share of audio troubles. There have been weeks where I am definitely not somebody that knows a lot about audio, so I have had to really lean on Gurdon and Camp to help me with it. And when we first started, I was just recording with, I think, my headset microphone, and man, that was really bad. I now have a mixer sort of set up with an XLR mic. I choose to use a handheld mic, which is probably why my audio sounds a little bit different than Gurdon Camp most weeks, because I'm a very distracted talker. So the normal condenser mics that you kind of have to make sure you are aiming your mouth at the middle of the microphone, I'm off in la la land, and the microphone has not picked up the last like 2 minutes of what I've said. So that's why I'm like, I better go handheld for this. So that's sometimes why my audio has been interesting, is how I'll put it.
Also, Lexi can't usually type or do things on her computer while she's holding the microphone because she
True.
needs both hands.
That's true. Or I type one-handed, but it's like me pecking on the keys, you know. So.
Yeah, I can type handed if I have to. Like if I have to type something, then I'm able to. But it's awkward. You gotta like contort your hand to like cover all freaking keys.
Right.
It's a lot.
Well, and I don't type home row. I don't know if you guys use home row when you type, but I cannot.
I don't exactly do like keep my fingers on home row, but I just have my hands kind of like floating over that area. I don't know if that's technically considered home row though.
I think that's kind of what I do. I don't even know how I type, to be honest. Hold on, let me see.
With your fingers?
I don't really have them over home row. I just kind of like, I
them.
don't know. It's instinctual. We did typing classes in like school and shit like that, and I don't remember anything from it, but I can still type pretty like relatively fast. So I don't know. I got something hard coded into my head, and I don't know what it is.
Computer.
That's just what it is.
So yeah, I do have some statistics now. Just wanted to do some introductory stuff. And again, if you are used to the very informative, structured... Thanks for that.
You said introductory stuff. Yeah, that's camp.
Yeah.
Or Eric, I don't know. It kind of changes depending on who's talking and when.
So I had some statistics about the podcast. Again, we only have about 160 subscribers. So obviously by no means are we large or even medium size. We're very small. But we enjoy doing what we do. And if you have been with us from the beginning, you might have known that this podcast actually used to be on Gurdon's main channel. It was kind of an experiment that we did. So Gurdon had done a lot of very long form videos on his channel, and he actually got... I say popular. Again, popular is very relative in the internet space, but I think you guys know what I mean. He got his popularity because he ended up doing an iceberg series about things that were incomprehensible or unexplainable. And those videos, quite frankly, they blew up. I mean, and I think that that's an apt word to use.
I think one of my favorite, because when I was watching the videos after I was sent them, I think one of my favorite comments was like, "Unexplainable iceberg explains it." Yeah, that's perfect. That's great.
So Gurdon had videos kind of similar to that. Of course, that series blew up. And then he did a couple other ones prior to that about the phrase, "Let's blow this popsicle stand." That's one of my personal favorites. "Why vampires suck blood." That one is a really good one too. But those ones didn't gain as much traction, of course, as the icebergs did, because icebergs are just, their own genre, so to speak. And so Gurdon was talking to me and was like, I really don't want to just do icebergs forever. Like, I want to do other types of videos too. And that's where he was talking about the idea for the How Could You Forget podcast and things like that. And I want to say, I think, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I think we did like maybe 2 or 3 episodes that were uploaded to the Gurdon channel just to try. Maybe it was only 2.
We did like 7, I think. It was all the way up until the Game Awards. Yeah.
Let me pull up my channel while we're talking.
Oh, yeah, true. I guess Gurdon could literally just open it.
Oh, that's true, because they are just hidden on there. But while we look that up, yeah, so the experiment was, okay, well, we're just going to put the podcast up on Gurdon's channel because, people that are waiting for a more longer form video, they can watch the podcast, they can listen to the podcast, and that'll kind of be like a fill-in. And oh boy, people hated it. People were not... They were not having it, and we were
we did
like,
7.
Ooh.
Wow, good job on the exact number even there.
7. Damn, Cam.
Well, yeah, no.
Good
Well, I mean,
memory.
I just remember that because I remember 7 is the Game Awards one, and I think that was the one that like not a lot of people liked.
Well, the Game Awards, I think, was the first one where we had it on our dedicated channel.
I think we switched it at that one.
Yeah, I think we did switch at that point because I know the Game Awards one got uploaded there, and then the next one came out after we had already moved everything to its own channel.
Let's see. Yeah, the Game Awards, you guys are correct. The Game Awards, see, and again, I had the page pulled up, and I said I was going to do the statistics, and now I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So yes, the Game Awards are Dorito Pope, Jeff Keighley. That was our last episode on the Gurdon channel before we re-uploaded all of those episodes onto our dedicated channel that we are on now. And then the MP3 Player War was our first episode on the dedicated channel. And interestingly enough, the MP3 player war is actually our most liked episode on the channel.
Really?
Yes. It's pretty
Damn.
close. That one has 22 likes, and then the second most liked is the Gay Islands with 21.
Let's go.
And
The
then
islands do be
is
gay.
tied for the Yevla Goat and Charles Ponzi for 20 likes.
Oh.
So
There we go.
I don't know which one I would like more out of those two because they're both so ridiculous. They're both-
I know I think for the original girl boss Charles Ponzi, that thumbnail just gets me every time I see that. I just the nails, hair done, nails
yeah.
done.
Shout
It's
out to
just-
Gurden for making the thumbnails for every episode, by the way.
Yes, he also does that as well, and then has me come and look at them, and I go, oh, okay, yeah, let's change the font, and then or font color, I should say. The font hasn't changed, but the font color. So that is the brainchild. What is that word? Is that even a word? I don't even know. I don't like
Brainchild,
it.
brainchild is a
yeah.
word. Yeah, I know.
I don't
that.
like
Yeah.
it.
It is.
Those
weird.
are all the ideas of Gurden. Those are Gurden's works of art. There we go. That's better. And like Gurden mentioned at the beginning, spoiler for the statistics, yes, we did actually get our first dislike very recently with
Let's
our
go.
episode that we did about PSAs, Whack, Crack, and Stranger Danger. That was our first dislike on the channel.
Why on that
All
one?
right.
I like that. Well, I guess I would ask that about anyone, but I like the PSA one. I like listening
Yeah.
to PB Herman talk about crack.
All right, delete the channel. That was it. We were.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Keeping my podcast channel up until I get a dislike speed run.
Exactly.
We lasted quite a while.
I was going to say we
actually.
lasted almost a year.
It's
Jeez.
pretty amazing.
How could you forget? Was a social experiment done by Harvard University. Thank you for your
Exactly.
participation.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. No, we would have way more money if that was the case.
That would be really funny. Maybe we could do like an April Fool's bit for that.
Well, don't tell them.
True.
Don't tell them.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you got to cut that out. I'll make a note.
Okay, totally cutting it out.
Can't tell them the super secret.
Or hey, don't cut this out, but just act like we cut it out.
What?
But we.
Well, no, true,
we-
but then it's like a double take. You know what I mean? Because then it's like, oh yeah, so they're definitely going to do this now because we know. But then we won't do it, so then it's like a double April
we
Fool's.
start making a limited edition podcast where it's how could you forget, but then also the podcast itself starts forgetting, and the episodes start disappearing the longer time goes on.
That is so meta.
Honestly,
That
that
is
would be a
so
great April
meta.
Fool's. Just like randomly throughout the day, we just start taking down.
they all
unlisted
become unlisted.
videos.
Like what? What's happening?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's awesome.
How
That's
could
awesome.
you remember podcasts?
Let's go.
But yeah, I wanted to just give some statistics that I wrote down real quick. Again, we've only been doing this for about a year, so we don't have a ton of episodes, but I thought that was interesting to go back through and be like, oh wow, yeah, people really liked these ones. And funny enough, one of the ones I wanted to mention is actually our most viewed episode, the Gwen Stefani episode, talking about her Asian arc. That one is particularly funny to me because I had the idea to do that when I read an article earlier this year.
More
I
like
wanna say,
farticle. Sorry.
it was like honestly it was, I think it was the end of last year, and I was like, oh, I want to talk about Gwen Stefani because I remember being a huge Gwen Stefani fan when I was young. We did that episode, and like a month or so later, Gwen Stefani started being in the news again. And I was like, that was some really good timing. I mean, of course she's never gone away or anything, but people started talking again about her whole questionable time of this Lamb era and some of the things that she's done. And I thought that was very apt timing because I wasn't even trying to chase, a trend or something in the news at that point. And kind of just was like, oh, it'd be fun to talk about. And then it just so happened to pop up again. So I think that's what contributed to that being one of our most viewed videos.
I guess so, yeah. As she started making waves again, like directly after we posted the video.
True.
Right. I also heard this week, or was it maybe last week, that her and Blake Shelton and one other person, I can't recall their name, they're going to be adapting The Wizard of Oz into a musical.
I did,
but
hear
it's going to
about
be
that.
for young adults.
Oh.
It's going to be YA focused. And let me look up and see. I honestly want to say I think it was like a discussing film tweet I saw. So let me see if I can, honestly, I get a lot of reputable news from that Twitter account.
Yeah,
So
I mean, to my understanding, it's actually mostly accurate.
Yes.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so it's not going to be a movie. It's going to be a TV show, I guess.
Oh.
It is going to be a series on Prime Video, and they're going to, of course, adapt The Wizard of Oz. But it's basically, from what I read on the discussing film post, that the yellow brick road is going to be like a metaphor for like hard choices that young people have to make.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like,
I don't know.
Okay, so then if you're coming out and saying that, is it really that effective? Like,
I was going to say, I feel like it kind of stops being a metaphor at that point if you have to explain it so clearly.
Right.
Let me explain the metaphor real quick.
Yeah. Let me break it down completely what it is.
Right.
You don't even have to think intuitively about it at all. Just here it is. Here it is.
This is it right here.
Let me check this Deadline article. Deadline's another great source for like movie and TV stuff. Yeah, okay, so according to this Deadline article, it says, the series, which Gina Matthews is developing, it's called Dorothy, I guess.
Fucking Dorothy.
According to the article, it says, the series, which Matthews created and will produce under her Little Engine label, is a contemporary music-infused YA, meaning young adult, retelling of Wizard of Oz based on L. Frank Baum's books, using the yellow brick road as a metaphor for the challenges and choices facing young adults today.
Huh.
I'm like, no offense, because it could be good. Well,
man,
okay.
now you really were sticking your guns on that one.
Yeah, because I don't want to just be rude because I'm not. I mean, I know Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton, and I don't care for them, and I think they suck. But I don't know this other person working on the show, so like maybe they're great. I don't know.
That's fair. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't want to be a hater if it actually does come out, and it's like, oh hey, this is actually a pretty solid show. But I'm just like, do we need this? Do we need this?
Probably akin to how I feel about most remakes. No, probably not.
I don't need Wizard of Oz Euphoria.
Yeah.
Like, who had that on their bingo card? I swear people are just rolling dice. Like, ooh, what popular franchise? Okay, that's my 1d20. And then, okay, what's the synopsis? One other d20, you know?
Is Wizard of Oz in the public domain? Is that not exactly an issue, but is that why it's probably like...
The film itself from 1939 will be public domain in 10 years.
Oh,
and
okay.
yes, the original
39.
books by L. Frank Baum are public domain and have been since 1977.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So that's probably why they're much more like, sure, just make a movie out of it, make a show. Just because they're like, oh, we can very easily.
Yeah, you can. You don't have to pay for like licensing. It's great.
They should make every movie public domain.
I mean, honestly, that's probably why they were able to make Wicked, is because they were able to use the books because they were already public domain. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Lexi's on it today.
I mean,
she cooking.
I hope. I don't know. I just find that very interesting.
You sounded so scared. I don't know. Am I?
What am I cooking?
Yes.
Sorry, I just completely blanked after I said, what am I cooking?
You forgot what you were cooking, Lexi. That's your issue.
How could you
Oh my
forget?
gosh, no.
All right.
It's very strange for me to switch to this like laid back kind of just off the cuff format.
About to say,
because
just
I'm used
chill,
to...
girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like the first kind of structureless episode I think we've done.
Lexi's like, I don't want to chill. I
thrive with structure.
I know.
I thrive with structure. Not too much, or it suffocates me. But I want some.
It's a balance, you know.
'Tis the challenge.
Or you can just have no structure and just go with the flow, girl. Yeah, you know.
Well, I
Go with them
also
flow,
feel
girl.
bad because I want to apologize to our very loyal viewers. We do have a handful of them. You know who you are. Thank you. You are lovely.
We love you.
What? That was creepy.
That was the
Trying to,
point, Lexi. That was the point.
Love you. He just says as I'm trying to. I just keep wanting to apologize to those people who are like me, who are like, oh, okay, yeah, I can kind of get an idea of how this podcast is structured. And then we're like, now we're freewheeling. And it's like,
Next episode will be in French. That's the, we're just going to keep keeping you on your toes.
good luck. I hate the French language.
Oh, no, we're not going to speak in
fun
French.
fact.
We're going to make the whole episode, and then we're going to put it through Google Translate into French, and then text-to-speech the whole episode. That's what we're going to do, Lex.
That makes total sense.
Oh, okay.
I am down.
Yeah.
That would be absolute slop. See, I wouldn't blame someone for unsubscribing if that is an episode that we did. But I do blame them for unsubscribing because all of the episodes so far have been fire.
That is so true.
So true, bestie.
Which also leads me to ask the question to our listeners. We always ask,
why are you here? I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry, Lexi.
Well, when
a mommy podcast and a daddy podcast,
biologically male person and a biological female person
make a podcast
way back in the day. Anyway, gosh,
that'd be a fun episode.
How could you forget sex?
No.
I don't think I put that in the title, unfortunately, but
if we already have problems with the algorithm, buddy, I think we're in for a lot more if we do an episode on that.
That's how we keep them unawares. We just throw them off and we'll do one that's like, hey, this is following the entire thing of algorithms. Like, how could you forget? And then we'll just do whatever's popular. Like, how could you forget Mr. Beast? And
then we'll talk about getting Everlaid in the next episode. And then
exactly.
That's it. Lovely.
Sorry, continue, Lexi.
I was gonna say something. Well, now I forgot what I was saying.
Lexi, how could you forget?
How could you?
How could I can answer that question. I can forget because when I'm in the middle of trying to say a statement and then y'all go off on this tangent about something completely unrelated and then you guys are like, so you were saying, and I'm like, my point is all the way in Antarctica by now.
Hey, yo, Eric, how are your Uma Musume runs going?
They're not, honestly. I haven't actually touched Uma.
Wow.
Uma Thurman.
I've not touched Uma Thurman.
I mean, that's true. I haven't.
I feel like that's an accurate statement also.
How could you forget when Eric didn't touch Uma Thurman?
I wouldn't even if I had the chance. I don't.
Eric's like, I hate Uma Thurman. Quote Eric 2025.
No.
I don't hate her. I'm just playing for the wrong team.
Right.
The Thuma Ermins,
Yeah. Thuma Ermins.
Oh, cut that out. That was terrible.
What do you mean? This is the Cutlass podcast.
No,
nightmare.
Better be cut.
We need nightmare. Lexi, get us back on track if we don't have the.
Here's the thing. I've been trying to, and you keep going. There is no track. Where we going?
I'm
There's no
gonna put
track.
the Cutlass version up on my own Patreon. So if you want to hear it, go to Patreon.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Always be plugging. Yeah, head over to Kim's Patreon if for some reason you like to torture yourself with just stream of consciousness with three people who probably have ADHD. So,
I'm just half awake. That's my only problem here.
Yeah, true. You are getting more awake as the episode goes on, though. You do sound like you're actually semi-conscious right now.
I'm sitting up more, so I think that helped.
There you go.
It's as simple as that, y'all. If you think you're about to fall asleep,
I can't wait to stop recording, and then you're just gonna completely crash afterwards.
I'm about to crash out. Yeah, just into my bed.
You're just on the power reserves right now. All right, sorry. Oh my God, Lex, you can keep going.
See, it's hard for me to wrangle and get back on track when you guys are like, there's no track where we're going.
Lexi's like, let me back.
Where we're going, we don't need tracks.
Oh my gosh. I did want to offer another, again, peek behind the curtain moment, TM. That's what we're calling these. We decided to opt for a more loose style this week as well because there's just been a lot going on. As I've mentioned, gestures vaguely in every direction in the world, of course.
Where are you gesturing to, Lexi?
Vaguely.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. But there has also been a lot going on behind the scenes as far as without doxing ourselves or whatever. We've been going through some health issues, personal stuff. Again, nothing that is.
Lexi, I made a whole video about about
I know, but
stuff.
again, I don't want to reveal too much about people. But all that to say that at least speaking for myself,
Eric did change his persona. That's
is true.
He did.
That's the medical change that
I mean,
we're talking about.
Yeah. That's the medical thing that I'm going through right now. Is that
Yeah.
it's just,
I'm having to change every fiber of my being to a different color.
We're all going through something medical. Gurdon is going through a medical mystery where doctors cannot find out what illness he has, and Camp changed his persona. It's
One of them's much worse, the persona.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Imagine having to change your entire body color, dude.
I know.
That's wild.
Man, you run out of markers. Damn.
So true.
You're hitting up the Michaels again for the 5th time that day, and they're like, "Sir, you bought
Sir,
all of our
please.
markers.
Do you not just want paint, sir? He's like, what?
Yeah, but paint won't stay.
mean
Again,
paint?
paint washes off. You got to get that Sharpie.
I just
You gotta
walk
get
up
that
to the
permanent
cash register
marker.
for the 6th time that day, and then the manager's just like, "I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to cut you off." And then they just like escort me out of the craft store like it's a bar. They just,
Oh my goodness.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, and then they just like kick you to the curb.
It sounds like a Simpsons bit.
Probably is.
to be honest, life is a Simpsons bit.
Life imitates Simpsons,
Life
right?
imitates
So true.
Simpin.
Simpin.
It's true.
All right, Lexi, get us back on track.
Okay. Again, where is this track you speak of?
Track store.
I was going to ask you guys. I have this written down on my paper for structure. What has been your guys' favorite episodes that we have done this far, or a favorite viewer recommendation so far?
Oh gosh, hold on. Let me go to the channel really quickly, so I make sure I'm not forgetting anything.
How could you forget? We got another dislike. Let's
gosh.
go.
While we're on the podcast, or
Yes, the high school got another dislike. Woo.
Woo!
oh well, maybe they were mad.
I wonder if
because
it's Roy Johnson and then like some
Yes.
other dude.
Oh my
who
gosh,
found it.
that'd be funny, dude.
That'd be-
It's
that'd
got to be
so
the
great.
coach of Bishop Sycamore that disliked our video. That's probably not true in the slightest, but that's my headcanon. And I'm going with it.
Legally, we have to say that it absolutely is. What is a good one?
I honestly, I'm still really partial to the Evley goat. The goat that must
Yeah.
burn. I enjoyed that one.
Yevla Goat was chaos.
Yeah, it was just like every year,
Yeah.
just something else so chaotic.
It was like,
happens.
and it burned. And it lived, but then it was disassembled. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah, there were so many years. Wasn't there like the one year when someone just literally hit it with their car and then drove
yes.
off? Like
There's
there was
that the
Yeah.
camera footage of them just hitting it. Oh yeah, that one was great.
Oh, I love that one. The gay. I also like maybe a follow up. I'm tied between Sealand or the Gay Islands for a follow up because I love both. I love the philosophy
Yeah.
like behind both, where it's just people that go to an island and just go like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna be independent now."
Does,
and then
does
it's just
anybody
like,
own this island? Oh no. Okay, it's mine then.
Mine.
My
Let's go.
That one was pretty interesting.
Yeah, those types are always fun. Afar.
What about you, Gurdon?
I was also leaning towards the Sealand one. I also just like the thumbnail of the seal sitting on the.
That is so cute. I
Just a
do. I
seal.
love seals, y'all. That's so cute. I do
I
love
like
that
one,
thumbnail
but
a
I
lot.
also liked the grab bag one we did of the Terror Crocs and Royal Hijinks, which was much more like a bunch of random things that were all in the same category of. I mean, in that one specifically, it was just like big things, but kind of along that line.
I
And
liked
then
that one too.
the mayoral cats and Boots' hats for all the weird candidates that were recommended by fans and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe it's a little bit of recency bias, but I also still really like the PSA episode.
That one was
to
funny.
be honest, that one, yeah, that one was a lot of fun.
I think funny wise, oh gosh, I'm gonna say I have different categories of ones I've liked.
He's like ones that I laughed at and the
Ooh.
ones that I didn't want to laugh at, but I had to.
what were ones I was forced to laugh at, and what ones did I genuinely? I'm just kidding.
She was forced to laugh at all of them.
I thought the Freud episode was pretty interesting. That was a viewer recommendation, and I liked that one because, again, I'm partially a psych major, so like I knew about Freud and the basics, but diving into some of that
cheater.
stuff. I mean, it was
Sorry,
my
continue.
topic.
I
that
know, I was joking, dear.
researched. It was viewer recommended. Lexi
I was
researched.
joking. I'm sorry.
And then, of course, for the not funnies, I was very, and as people could probably tell, the Art of the AIDS Crisis was a huge one for me. I absolutely love that episode.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very, very serious one.
That one was not funny. I'm just going to be honest with y'all.
Yeah, no, that one was
Probably
not.
the least funny one,
Yeah.
but you know,
Yeah,
it was
that was
intentionally not funny, so that's good.
Yeah,
True.
that one was a very serious one. The Everly Club The Everly, was that just the Everly Club, right?
Yeah.
The brothel,
Everly,
that one
yeah.
was funny.
Yeah.
Johnson and Abraham Lincoln, you would have loved Susie Poontang. That's probably, that's way up there on
one
our
of the most
quotes
iconic lines in the whole series.
You would have
Yeah.
loved Poontang.
You would have
Yeah.
loved Susie Poontang. Let's go.
Oh, that's so good. We're so dumb, but so good.
And then, of course, I'm very partial to the Game Awards Dorito Pope Jeff Keighley episode. I think that was one I also did. And so
Yeah.
I'm kind of biased, but I really liked that one because I think Jeff Keighley is really cool. And it's amazing to see how huge the Game Awards are. And then Gamescom was just maybe a few weeks ago. I forgot. I think it was
I
maybe
think it was
August.
literally like last weekend was Gamescom.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah,
Gosh,
I literally
okay.
only know that because that's where the first like Silk Song demo came out. That's the only reason.
oh,
I know
yeah.
that.
People freaked out.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, yeah, it was literally like a week and a half ago. So
2
that's
weeks if you're
awesome.
listening to this on release day.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
But that one was really cool, and I think that being able to see something that was very niche and kind of a side thing become such center stage with Game Awards and Gamescom. Like, of course, with gaming in general, you have a lot of people who just do it casually and they don't listen to announcements or they don't follow the awards or the conventions or whatever, but I think it's grown very massive, and I love watching those events whenever they come on, and especially when I'm at work and the office is like, oh yeah, okay, this is starting, and we'll be working and have that on another monitor, and I think that's really cool.
To go back quite a bit, probably almost towards the beginning of the podcast when you talked about my idea for the podcast and stuff of like, when I've mentioned in the past as well about having guests on, like, I would love and be very, very happy if this podcast ever got to the point of like, oh no, if we do another Jeff Keighley episode, we would have How Could You Forget Jeff Keighley featuring Jeff Keighley. Like,
That'd be amazing.
That's the level of stuff that I would like to be able to hit eventually of like, how could you forget, and then insert somebody of like well-known and then have them on that episode, like,
or like an event that somebody could actually talk about firsthand.
Yeah, or again, just straight up what I'm saying, like, Jeff Keighley is a great answer. Like, I know that we would never get like Gabe Newell on, but like if somehow it was like,
Now that
how
attitude.
could you forget Gabe Newell? Like 160 subs, we getting there, boy.
Wow, we're just so famous, guys.
Oh, I know, but like generally, if we did a How Could You Forget Gabe Newell featuring Gabe Newell, like just having them on, and then like then it could be the split thing of having the person on and like having all of us that have questions, but then also just letting them talk about what they personally want to talk about as well. About like, that's been the kind of underlying thing that we haven't really been able to really touch on or really get into, of like having somebody on and like, oh, if they're really known for like, I'm kind of mutuals with a YouTuber named Blooms on YouTube, and they are a South Park YouTuber, and like, I know that they're probably sick and tired of talking about South Park, but if I did like an episode and I invited them on eventually, like, how could you forget Blooms? And then the episode was like, how could you forget Blooms? Again, featuring Blooms, but like, if he gets on here, he does not only have to talk about like, okay, so what's your favorite episode of South Park? Like, no, if this person wants to talk about like, oh, hey, I'm really into like math, or I'm really into history or model, or like, oh, actually, because like I believe Blooms is a nurse, like, oh, talking about how like, oh, the dichotomy of being a nurse, which is a very serious job, and then my side job being I talk about South Park on the internet, like that type of conversation I feel like would be very interesting. But again, we don't have like just a bunch of people that are just like, sup, I'll come on your podcast and talk for an hour, like. But
well,
it's that,
and I wanted to also add the fact that, like, while we are all, Camp, Gurdon, and myself, we're all friends and we talk a lot. I don't think an entire episode about one of us is going to really be that interesting to people. I mean, depending on what the topic is, it's always great when we can insert our own life experience or something that we were inspired by to talk about on an episode. But I mean, I'll just dog on myself for a minute of like, how could you forget Lexi? Like, nobody really wants an hour-long episode of me just...
I do, my wife, I do.
Okay, well, you know what? Again, this is the thing of like, we are not very ego-driven people. And so
Not
we are not
particularly.
naive enough to think like, oh yeah, the viewers, they just want to hear an hour of me talking about this one time in middle school with my friend. Like, no, it's not that
and
interesting.
There's also the added factor, the fact that like a majority of the listeners, I feel like, would be coming from either my channel or Gurdon's channel. So they would
Yes.
already know quite a bit about 2/3 of the people.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Which,
Yeah.
you know, it might not be like super duper interesting for an episode, but I do like the idea of having someone like Blooms on, because I feel like that would be a nice little
That'd be cool.
maybe change of pace for them, especially if they ever get sick about talking about South Park.
It's a good time right now. Man,
Oh,
I
yeah.
just had another boom of that.
yeah.
So, but yeah, so I just wanted to add that little caveat in there that we are more than happy to answer any listener questions or talk more about our own experiences, but we're also, like we said, not delusional enough to think that us just yapping about our mundane things is enough to carry the podcast. So
Maybe
that's
we can make that a 2-year anniversary episode. How could you forget Q&A?
that'd be cool.
Just maybe.
If you do want to hear our origin story, because fun fact, we all met over twitter.com. So it's not going to be a boring story of, yeah, so we were in 4th grade and we had to sit next to each other and we both like grilled cheese. Like,
I mean, grilled cheese kind of bussin' though.
well, true, but it's not a part of our origin friendship story. That's what we want
I
to
mean,
call
speak
it.
for yourself.
Grilled cheese
Okay.
is a very important part of Eric's life, and you know
is
this.
very-
Lexi.
yes.
Well, you guys have that grilled cheese bond. Okay.
Yeah.
The GCB. You don't know about the GCB, Lexi?
we bonded together like the cheese bonds the bread. You know what I mean?
I don't.
No,
Eric,
okay.
you don't know about the GCB, the grilled cheese connection.
What, you never made a grilled cheese?
No, I've made a grilled
I've made a
cheese.
grilled cheese.
Well, yeah,
I
but-
understand grilled cheese, the food
as a
item.
concept. I understand.
Yes.
I
do
was
not
just saying, 'cause
understand
it's like how
y'all's-
the cheese, you know, like the cheese.
When the cheese is connected.
when you cheat when Lexi doesn't
Ayo, your mom.
cheese.
Ayo, your mom. When the cheese.
Oh my goodness.
When you,
This is just stream of consciousness, y'all. This is why we don't do this
attention
very
viewers, you are
often.
not having a stroke. I am just like this. Just want to clarify.
I feel like I'm losing my mind by going like, hey chat, and it's just there's nobody there.
Ayo,
Hey,
chat. Is this peak? Ayo, chat.
Yo, this funny, right? We funny.
Yo, we're so
Critical
funny.
mass of just losing our minds at this
We're
Critical
point.
reaching the
mass,
event
yeah.
horizon of critical.
Oh my goodness.
My God.
Just the immediate full break stop of me saying critical ass and y'all being like, this dumb piece of shit.
This mother person.
Bleep that
Mother
out
of
even though you
pearl.
didn't say the word.
I was gonna say the F word, but I didn't.
I know,
I
but
would- I
still
am
bleep it out
sorry.
even though you didn't say it though for the funny.
Yes.
Speaking of Mother of Pearl, did you see they dropped the Black Pearl Lego set?
Is that a Pirates of Carabiner?
Yeah, Pirates of the
reference?
Caribbean, the Black Pearl
Oh,
ship. They
I-
just made a Lego set of it.
Hey, this is an actual thing at the very end of the podcast. Do you guys know about the Carabiner code?
No.
Like the
Lexi,
little
do-
metal keychain things? Carabiners?
Yeah, do you know
that
about the
hold your
Carabiner
bag?
code?
I thought that was like a lesbian thing.
It is. That's what I was asking about. I didn't know if y'all knew
Oh,
about
okay.
the Carabiner code. Yeah.
Okay,
Eric,
yeah,
I didn't
Camp
know
is
about
like,
this.
excuse me, what?
Exactly.
Okay.
I didn't know
right.
that had to do with lesbians.
I learned about this the other day because somebody was upset. They're like, unless you're actually like a mountain climber, carabiners are for lesbians. And I was like, what is this person smoking? But then I did a quickest Google search and like, no, there has been a carabiner code that's been a known thing. And I'm like, what on earth is
Well,
this?
see, I don't know what like if there is an actual code. I don't know about that. I just have heard that like it's kind of just I don't even know. I don't even think it's an internet thing, but it's just kind of like become synonymous with lesbians.
okay, all right. I'm looking it up. It looks like carabiners are like to lesbians as like handkerchiefs are to gay people. You know what I mean? Where it's like depending on like where
See,
you have.
I didn't even know about the handkerchief gay connection.
Oh yeah, no, that's a big. It goes in depth. There's like color meanings, and like depending on where it is on
Oh.
like your arms, like there's
Color
actually.
meaning? Arms?
Oh yeah. because there's like different colors for different things. And it's related to things that I can't talk about without this video saying monetized.
Right,
So.
but okay.
I won't go too in depth, but
Well,
just know that it goes deep.
I would imagine it's similar to like when I found out, because like I love pineapple, like the fruit, but I also love decorative pineapples. And for the longest time, I'm like, oh, pineapple everything. It's so cute. And then I'm in college and people are like, do you know that like pineapples are code for swingers? And I'm like, excuse me? 'Cause I was like, no, I didn't know that. And again,
Lexi's
no hate.
like, yay, cute spiky fruit, and somebody's like, yo, you a swinger though?
we love a bunch of different lifestyles on this channel. No hate to swingers, but I did not know the connotation between pineapples and swingers. And I also did not know, fun fact, you'll never get me on a cruise ship, but it's really big on cruise ships for people to put the upside down pineapples on their doors to indicate that they are open to swinging.
No, I actually learned about that literally just earlier this year because I was on vacation.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on vacation earlier today in like a tropical place.
Today?
Not today.
You said earlier today, like, holy shit.
Whoops.
That was like...
No, I don't know how to say words. No, but back a couple months ago,
That's
in
not
July,
today.
where I recorded an episode. What was that one? Oh, the mayoral cats and boots' hats.
Yeah, that's
dude.
right. You were in the
I was in
places.
Jamaica at that time, which is why my mic quality probably sounded terrible.
Yeah, didn't you forget your mic?
Well, no, I did remember my mic, but I didn't bring like the windscreen, so I literally put like a sock over top of it. I think I have a photo. Maybe I'll throw it up here because
It worked. It worked.
Because my setup looked really funny. But so I did that, and that's where I had learned like, hey, if you'd see like pineapple or like people wearing a pineapple shirt, or someone wants to buy you like a pineapple drink or something.
Is it just a pineapple shirt? It's just
there was a group of people who
shirt?
like all came into breakfast one day, just like all wearing pineapple button-ups, and they looked like they were like 20-something like year-old frat boys.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, I have two shirts. I only have one now, but I used to have two shirts that just had a pineapple on it.
We can buy you more shirts if you only have 2 shirts. What are you talking
no,
about?
okay, no, I have 2 specific pineapple-themed shirts. And so I just thought they were so cute. And yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, I did not know about all of this.
Lexi's like, oh no.
Right. There's so many things that I am a person that I wouldn't say I'm very naive in the sense of like, I don't know that the world is messed up, because I do know the world is messed up, but it takes me a while to get things, or I don't necessarily put 2 and 2 together sometimes. So I'm constantly learning new things that people are like, yeah, you didn't know this thing was that? And I'm like, no, who was going to tell me?
I'm the exact same way. Life is a big surprise for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a great way to live. It's a great...
Life is just one big surprise party.
Let's go.
Is it good? Is it bad? Just depends on the day.
For real.
I'm trying to recall desperately what the other thing was recently that I want to say it was Gurdon that told me about it.
Oh, I tell you about a lot of stuff.
Oh, I know,
what?
but there was something that you're like, yeah, you didn't know that this was related to like gay stuff or sex or something. I'm like, no, like but I can't recall what it was now.
It's just the rainbow flag. Lexi's like,
no.
like shocked.
I know about the rainbow flag. That's so funny. No, okay, I have a funny story about like rainbows and stuff like this. This is for the viewers who do want, again, peek behind the curtain TM.
I kind of like this peek behind. We're kind of getting into a vibe here. I'm kind of digging this peek behind
the curtain.
the
We're
curtain.
kind of peeking behind the curtain. We're kind of doing that.
That's the name of the new podcast.
So real.
A peek behind the curtain.
Yes. No, so funny-ish story, at least to me. So my grandmother, she was one of the ones of my extended family that I was rather close with. I'm not really that close with the rest of my extended family, but my mom's mom, I was close with her, and she ended up passing away in 2022. So that was very sad. But she lived her whole life in a very small town in a rural area and was pretty religious. And so she was not very affirming of queer people. And for those of you who don't already know this, I am bisexual.
The peek behind the curtain.
I know. My grandmother never knew this. She went to her grave never knowing this. But when she passed away, we were going through her belongings, obviously, in her house, because my grandpa had died years before her. So when she passed away, we went through the house. And she was a very crafty person. You know what? People do be dying sometimes. You are correct.
That does happen at points. It's wild.
She was a very crafty person, and she would do crocheting and needlepoint and like a bunch of different yarn crafts. She would do flower arrangements, things like that. She had needle pointed, which if you don't know what needle pointing is, it's like a plastic grid, and then you loop the yarn through the little spots and you make things. Well, you can make that was a great description, by the way.
You put the needle through the things, and you
thread
do
the needle
thing.
with the yarn, and then you bring it through the things. There you go.
Loop de loop and pull, and then your shoes are looking good, right?
Whoop. Yeah, exactly. So you can make tissue boxes out of this. And so if you've ever seen like tissue boxes that have yarn on it, it's probably a needle pointed. So she made a bunch of these tissue boxes. They're a whole different kind. She would make some for her church. She would make some that were just like colorful, all that jazz. Well, I have one that has cat on it, and she gave me that a long time ago. But as we were going through her house, she had one that was like totally rainbow. It's like this rainbow tissue holder. And I'm like, oh, this is so cute. I love the rainbow. I love colorful things. So I'm like, I'm gonna take this one. And to this day, I bug my mom because I'm like, yeah, Mom, Grandma said gay rights. Like here's my tissue box. Like she made this rainbow pride thing, and my mom is in the middle on gay stuff. I'll put it that way. So every time I say that,
sorry.
Yeah, well, who knows? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all of that, but I still think it's really funny to be a little bit of an ass sometimes. And I'm like, yeah, Grandma says gay rights. And like, I have that tissue box in my house. So it's just a very funny thing of, I don't think my grandma was really like anti-gay, because there were a few people, believe it or not, in her small town, there were a couple people in her family that were queer, and so she did love them just the same and talk to them and treat them with respect, but I don't think she would have been waving the pride flag, but I just love I can write my own history and go, yeah, Grandma says gay rights, I got my gay flag tissue box going on.
It's the good ending. There you go.
Yeah, it's the good ending. I can make up whatever I want. So
I can make up whatever I want.
Oh, that was a little bit of a peek behind the curtain about my life, and just a random story since we were talking about gay stuff.
I love talking about gay stuff. It's fun.
Let's talk about gay
stuff. I
stuff.
love saying it that way. No, that's how I stole that, because that's how Fundy Fridays Jen says it on their channel.
Oh yeah.
We talk about this, and gay stuff, and I just like the way they say it, so I stole it from them. Shout out to Fundy Fridays, great channel.
Let's go.
I am a fan.
That was a certified peek behind the curtain moment.
That really was. We really do be peeking behind the curtains. So many moments of peeking.
Should be our new series.
Yeah, I'll be like the sister podcast.
Yeah.
Where there's not even like there's just no like plan at all. It's just us yapping for an hour.
Not sisters as in like the James Charles sisters, right?
No.
What? Lexi,
okay.
no. Get out of here.
I didn't know. I only know, like, I know that James Charles is always like, hey, sisters. So
No.
I
Well, I mean, like sister
podcast.
podcasts. It's like, it's just like something that runs coinciding with the main podcast is what that normally
means. Okay, yes,
yeah,
you mean it
Lexi.
as the term. Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't. No.
Okay,
We don't support James Charles in this house.
I know we don't. But I was just like, wait, sisters, what?
Well,
I got really confused.
I think I told this to Eric probably years ago, probably back 2021, 2022, about having an idea for an almost vent podcast called Negative Space, where people could just come on and bitch about stuff for like
I think I remember that
30 to 45 minutes, and then like just have some people that are just like, oh my gosh, I hate that also, like, and just have a hate thing of not actual hate of like, I hate this group of people, but like, don't you hate it whenever this person like complains?
I can complain. You need a bitch to complain, this bitch can complain.
Damn. All right, we're going to do a pilot episode, and Lexi's going to be like the solo complainer. Like, she's just going to take the reins.
It's just her for 3 hours straight.
Yeah, honestly, I probably could. I don't think anybody would want to listen to that, but I bet you I could probably talk for 3 hours about just little stuff and things in general that bother me, because I was talking to my best friend, shout out Rachel, love her. I was talking with her.
Not me?
And you're my podcast co-host. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
talking with my best friend, and I'm like, man, am I just like a negative person, or am I just so easily annoyed? There are so many things that annoy me. And she was like, no, I get it. Like, these things annoy me too. And we were just sitting there for a good like hour or two talking about things that just straight up annoy us, and that we will just look at somebody funky and be like, why are you doing all that, basically? And so I'm like, man, I'm not alone. So I know that there's at least 2 people in the world that are on the same level of being annoyed of people. Shout out to my bestie.
There we go. Shout out to bestie Rachel. But no,
like,
I remember
you know
what? She's gonna. We're some pilot episode. She says right here.
I got
pilot
one.
episode.
Let's go.
I was gonna say, if y'all are ready, if y'all want one, I got one.
You know what really grinds Lexi's gears?
You know what? You know what? Why not?
You know what?
Why not?
Let's peek behind the curtain, okay?
Whoa, she said it.
Okay, but for real, the other day, like literally yesterday, Gordon and I go to the grocery store because we're going to have some friends over. We're getting some snacks. So we're going down the aisles. There is a family, a mom and a dad and 2 kids. And they are pushing their cart like relatively in front of us. Again, right off the cuff, no big deal. We are rounding the corner into going into another aisle, and there is a little end cap thing with like those little character juices on them, like the little, like a Bluey and a princess and a Spider-Man. You guys have seen those before, probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're just little juice bottles, and then the tops, they're like the little characters. One of the little girls is like, oh, Dad, can I please get a juice? Can I please get a juice? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And then finally the mom and the other daughter round the corner to catch up to the cart. And they're standing right at the entrance of this aisle where these character juices are. And so the dad's like, hey, you know, she wants a character juice. Can they get a character juice? And the mom's like, oh, okay, fine. That's whatever. They are standing there for, I kid you not, probably 2 minutes, letting their children pick out the character juices.
Bruh.
And Gordon and I are standing. I was trying to be patient, trying to be nice, because again, I know what it's like to be a kid at the store and you want to pick out something. That's fine.
Oh boy, I love choosing my juices.
The dad is standing there with his cart, blocking the aisle the way that we're supposed to go down it. And then there's people, the street, because again, people don't know this about grocery stores. I'm about to tell you, in America.
I love getting Lexi worked up for this stuff, by the way.
You go down the grocery store aisle the same way you drive. You drive on the right. You push your cart on the right, okay?
But Lexi, if you're in England, is it different? Actual question.
I don't care about England grocery stores. Screech, I like my bald eagles per freedom or whatever.
Yeah.
You are supposed to drive your cart on the right, so that way the flow of traffic, right? So this dad is blocking the entrance of the aisle with his cart while his daughters pick out character juices. And so the other people on the other side of the aisle going the proper direction, they're going past him, exiting the aisle, right? I'm not joking you. We probably stood there for, like I said, about 2 minutes before I was like, do we even need anything in this aisle? And Gordon's like, no, I don't think so. And I just, again, does this matter in the grand scheme of things? No. But I'll tell you what pisses me off. Going to the freaking grocery store and people just standing there. And I'm like, why does the dad need to stand here with his cart while they pick out the juice? Can the mom or dad not take the cart, continue down the aisle and grab their items while one of the other parents stands with the kids to get the juice? Like, why do we have to stand here? Like, I swear people go to the grocery store like it is a museum. They go there to stand around and look. And I'm like, listen, I understand. Sometimes you can't find the right product. Sometimes you can't find, the thing that you're looking for. And you're like, oh, damn it. I am so sick of people just standing in the aisles in the grocery store like they are looking at a Van Gogh and they have nothing else to do with their life.
Go off, Queen, honestly.
Drives me nuts. So there you go. That's my rant about, I hope those kids enjoyed their character juices, but I'm like, for Pete's sake, can one of these parents take the cart out of the way? Drove me nuts.
Well, thank you for tuning in for the first episode of Negative Spaces.
This has been Negative Spaces with your hosts,
Lexi.
No, that is so real, though. That's so fucking. Oh God, I'm sorry. That's so real.
You know what? I have a bone to pick with Eric.
I'm all
That's
No, 'cause
exactly
I feel the exact
thought.
same way. It's like even not even in the grocery store. It's like I have a whole video ranting about this, but it's just like, dude, when you're in a hallway, the hallway exists for people to go
Right.
places.
It's a transitive space.
So
yes.
move, go.
Step to the side.
It's not that big
Oh,
of a
people
deal.
at
You can
theme parks?
just move out of the way.
I don't. I like. I want to say this and say that I don't condone violence. I want to say that
Oh
before
my
I
god!
say this thing.
Show-
I don't
that-
condone
that
violence.
escalated.
Baller way to start a sentence. Go on.
But whenever I have gone to theme parks and people are just standing in the middle of the walkways with their giant caravan of strollers and bags and drinks and all that stuff, I'm like, that makes me want to rent a stroller with nothing in it so that I can just rampage. So I can just be like with my stroller, because I don't actually want to hurt people, but I just want them to move out of the way. Like you should get your ankle clipped by my stroller with nothing in it, because you need to move out of the way.
I'm so glad I had this idea.
I mean, yeah, no. She's cooking actually.
Lexi cooks a
support her.
lot. Like,
Again,
she
I don't want
knows.
people to get hurt, and I know I sound like the biggest Karen ever. I swear I'm not. I try to be patient. People who are working customer service, I feel you. I've been there. I try to have patience for that. But when it is just people being dumb and standing in the middle of where you're supposed to be walking,
Yeah.
they do it in airports. They do it in malls. Again, theme parks. Oh, that ruins my day, dude. Like, I go home and I'm sick of people.
It's honestly, it's not even like just being dumb for me. It's just like, how do you have such a little respect for like your fellow man or woman or NB or whatever the hell you are, that you just stand in their way in the communal spaces that people are meant to go through and like interact with other people and things like that. It's like, the world doesn't belong to you. Oh my God.
Oh, that and the fact that then there'll be people standing there again, like for example, at Disney. This is really bad at Disney. You're at Disney and there's somebody standing in the middle of the walkway. So I, just a single person with a small backpack, go, "Oh, excuse me," and they give you this dirty look like you're the problem. I'm like,
Lexi.
Oh my God.
oh my gosh. Again, makes me want to rent a stroller and just ram. Oh, boop, boop, get out of my way.
Oh, Lexi, what about the time when we went to the mall in Dallas and the family
Oh
of like
my gosh, those older ladies.
Oh no. Oh God.
go
Okay.
Lexi, go off.
I'm
go
so
off.
sorry. The listeners are like, man, Lexi
No,
is such
they're
a
enjoying.
Karen.
They're eating this up because I'm eating this
They
up
better
right
be
now.
enjoying
I
this.
really hope
we're
so.
going
If
off.
you are,
We're
if
going
you're
off.
not eating and you made it this far, comment, "I am not eating Lexi." Sad.
I am not eating Lexi. Quote.
That's how
But-
we're going to tell how many people made it to this point in the episode.
True.
Right? Yeah. Or stroller rant. Hashtag stroller rampage.
There you go.
Anyway.
True.
Perfect.
So Gurdon and I, this was a couple years ago. This was, I think, was this before you got bit by the brown recluse spider? Gurdon?
Probably.
Okay.
Amazing way to tell the time between events.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Most accident prone dude ever. Sorry, go on.
I think it was like July-ish of 2023. We had made a visit to Dallas, and we were at this very large mall in Dallas, and there was some sort of like outlet store or something. I can't remember, but it was clothing, and it was like bargains on stuff. And we go into the store, and there's this group of like 3 older ladies by the shoes, I want to say. And they were kind of like standing in the middle-ish of the aisle. And I was trying to look, but I'm like, well, I guess if they're just going to stand there, it's fine. I don't need to look at these shoes. So I kind of go out into the middle of the walkway. And I'm walking farther into the store. And there are these 2 older ladies that are walking towards me out of the store. And so I am walking, as I said, on the right side of the like sidewalk area, like tiled area, and they start walking on the right side, like
Directly
towards
at
me.
Lexi. Yes.
Oh,
And so I'm like, okay, I kind of try to go a little bit more to the right because I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to get over because they're not going to move. These ladies about ran into me because they would not. And mind you, we are the only people on this like walkway. It's not crowded.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah, it's like this linoleum. I mean, you guys know probably how stores are set up where there's like a linoleum little walkway, and then there's like carpeted areas where the merchandise is, right? So we're on this linoleum walkway, and it's more than wide enough. It's not this narrow thing, and it's literally Gurdon is. I think you were ahead of me, right? I was catching up to you.
I was either that or just one of those.
But either way, myself and then these two older ladies, and they like are about to barrel into me. And so I move more to the right and I go, excuse me. And they looked at me like they wanted to kill me. Like they gave me the stankiest stank eye I have ever seen. I'm just like, how
what
on
the
this
hell?
very crowded walkway where you could get over to your right to avoid me, I have already stepped over twice, and then you look at me like I'm the problem. I told that story for like probably 2 weeks after that, because I'm just like, what in the world? Like, if it was completely busy, and again, like we've talked about the theme parks and malls and things like that, if it was like wall-to-wall people or, hey, I gotta, squeeze by you and say, excuse me, I do understand that can just get like very uncomfortable. But for Pete's sake, when you're in a store and y'all are the only people on the little linoleum walkway, it drove me nuts.
I'm just more surprised than anything that they were like. Did it seem like they were going towards you intentionally, or like were they just not paying attention?
I
at
don't
all?
know. I
specifically remember that they were just staring Lexi down, just like looking directly at her, and then like when she was like,
I don't know.
You were on the wrong side of the hall.
Also, I'm like, I'm just in this store. I was just like normal, like I didn't.
Most polite Texas interaction.
Yeah, oh my gosh. There was nothing about me that would have like warranted them being like, I wasn't wearing a giant shirt that just said F you on it, or like a clown wig or something. Like it was hot, so it's probably like shorts and a t-shirt, tennis shoes.
Yep.
Like I don't understand. I was just like, what the hell? So I have plenty of stuff I could rant about people making me mad. But
honestly, though, I'm actually at the point now where, like, if people aren't just paying attention in the hallway and I notice they're coming towards me, I just let them hit me at this point. Like,
I wish, because you're really tall.
Well, yeah, true. I do have the buff where, like, I can actually like tank someone just running.
Have me?
No, I would get steamrolled, so that's why I'm afraid.
Very fair, actually.
Let's see what just get tackled.
Like, you are a whole 1.5 feet taller than me.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, no,
sure.
I am up there.
Probably closer to 2.
Probably. Okay, it's not 2. There's no way.
But it's more than 1.5 feet. It's like
not
more
unless you're like 4.5 feet like that.
I am 3 feet tall.
Oh,
I'm actually one of the Munchkins in Wicked. If you didn't know.
We represent the Lollipop Guild.
Yeah, basically.
Isn't that Oompa Loompas, or am I insane?
No, Oompa Loompas.
Because I thought like Oompa Loompas are in the chocolate factory, but I thought they were the dudes that talked about lollipop things.
No, the Lollipop Guild is the Munchkins, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
The Oompa Loompas are just like the Oompa Loompa. These kids are gonna die. Yeah.
Exactly how I remember it.
Also, fun fact, we were just talking about Legos. They are doing a Lego Willy Wonka set as well, based on the Gene Wilder version of Willy
Let's
Wonka.
go.
So it's very cute, but it's also very expensive.
All right. I mean, we should probably end the episode at some point. I don't think we have a real
I know. I'm trying to think about how to wrap it all up. Oh, okay. I got one. All right.
There you go. Lexi's got it.
So we unintentionally talked about Wizard of Oz because, the wild tangents that we got on. But speaking of peek behind the curtain, which is present in the Wizard of Oz, we would also like to take a peek behind the curtain and thank all of our lovely patrons over on patreon.com for camp and Gurdon. We appreciate it. Again, for Gurdon's, if you just put in your socialsecurity.com,
yes,
that links to Gurdon's Patreon. So totally not a scam. And we hope that you enjoyed this very unstructured, chaotic version of the podcast. We will probably get back to more structured episodes in the future. But if you did like this one of us just rambling, let us know, because we can throw a little bit of that in there. Like we said, we just come here to talk and enjoy ourselves, and we hope that you enjoy it. So whatever you guys as listeners like, if you really love the structured ones and the information, that's awesome. If you're like, hey, I actually kind of liked you guys just rambling a little bit more.
Y'all are boring. Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all are boring. And also, no matter what you do, you're boring. If you liked that more, just let us know, because we enjoy getting together, talking about stuff, whether it is very serious or it is just our gripes about the world. So thank you so much for liking the videos, commenting, subscribing.
All the
to
recommendations
the channel
as well. That's very, very...
Yes, I was going to say, if you have any ideas for future episodes, be it something informational or just us rambling about a subject, absolutely anything, feel free to let us know.
Right, I've got my piece of paper that has the dimensions on it.
One more quick thing, that was going to be the other possibility of today's episode was, what if we just took all the recommendations by people, but that also would have been like 10 to 15 things in one episode, and that might not have felt very cohesive.
That might have been like maybe 5 minutes per topic.
Yeah.
Right. I wanted to do more of them justice, because there are a few interesting ones. I mean, again, they're all... even if the ones that I don't know about, which have been most of these, they're all very interesting, and that's why I write them down. But there were a few that caught my eye, and I'm like, man, I don't want to just do 5 or 10 minutes on that. I want to actually do that justice and look into that. So specifically, I have one I'm looking at right now. It says 1981 Massachusetts clown fever. I am dying to know what that one is, so maybe that one needs to be next up on the docket. So always be plugging our Patreon. Again, thanks so much for listening, and how could you forget? Because I know I didn't.
Aww.
Just kidding, I actually did. I don't have an outro for this. Thanks for listening.
That's perfect.
Bye!